سيئات أعمالنا ما يهدي الله فهو المهتد وما يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ما بعد. The ayat that we are discussing today is from Surah An-Noor, Surah 24, and the ayat begins with ayah 43. where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألم تر أن الله يزجي سحابا ثم يؤلف بينه ثم يجعله ركاما فترى الودق يخرج من خلاله وينزل من السماء من جبال فيها من برد فيصيب به من يشاء ويصرفه عن من يشاء يكاد سنا برقه يذهب بالأبصار يقلب الله الليل والنهار إن في ذلك لعبرة لأولي الأبصار. This is ayat draw our attention to a phenomena that we take it for granted. The phenomena of what? Of rain. Of rain. Rain is one of the most important elements of sustaining human life, period. You know that? Rain. If it does not rain in America for 1 year, no, even a drop of water, what will happen to the United States? We're going to be in big trouble. The entire country will be in state of emergency. If it does not rain, drop of water in the entire world, almost life will cease. That's how important it is. That's why in Islam there's a prayer called Salat Ish, Salat al-Istisqa, the prayer for rain. Because the one who brings the rain, it is not a government, or the department in the government of the United States, or a committee in the United Nations. The one who brings the rain is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He controls all the water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But how the water came about? It is many verses in the Qur'an, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking about He's sending the wind, the water evaporate from what? From where? From the ocean. And goes where? To the air, the sky, and then form clouds. I was watching the video about how the rain comes about. Because I said, like, this verse required contemplation, reflections. The descriptions how the cloud formed is in the Quran. Subhanallah. In how even the rain poured out of the cloud is in the Quran. It's precise descriptions. It's fascinating. The words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should not get surprised when the Quran speaks about something and come to be true in science, because it was true to begin with. There will never become a time the verse in the Quran that's so clear will contradict science. Will never. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in many verses in the Quran that He yasuq. The word yusji means a sawq bi rifq, taken gently, moving the clouds gently. Now, ثم يؤلف بينه. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala formed the cloud. يجعله ركاما. Have you been in the flight? Have you seen the cloud? When you fly, how the cloud looks like? one after another. The top of each other, the cloud. There's a first level of the cloud, and then you see more cloud, more cloud. فthis جعله ركاما بعضه فوق بعض. They said that there's a cloud that's cold, and one of them have heat, temperature. It's not that cold. They come on top of each other, and that's how the rain come about. And then they come piled like mountain. Piled up like mountain. For this is really, I'm going to invite all of you, after you take the dose of sleep, and you come awake before Dhuhr, maybe, some of you, go and Google how the cloud was formed. And look to this eye again. You'll be fascinated. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that in other surahs in the Quran, when يَرَوْا كِسْرًا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ سَاقِطًا يَقُولُوا سَحَابٌ إيش مَرْكُومٌ. Now, what is wadq? الودق يخرج من خلاله. What is wadq? Wadq, ulama said, is rain. And this, by the way, the most authentic. And that's match with what I just told you I saw in the video. The rains come from the middle of the cloud. من خلاله, from the middle. وجعلنا خلالهما نهرا, in the middle, in the Quran. For wadq, it means rain, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings the rain. وينزل من السماء من جبال فيها من برد. Also, as I said, the word jibal means mountain, and jabal in Quran يدل على الكثرة, means something a lot. وهي تجري بهم في موج كالجبال, describing Noor alayhi salam flood, and the water where the ship was floating, he says it was floating in water, body of water, the wave of it like mountains, موج كالجبال. And that is in the Arabic language description of something great. There's one of the scholars named Ubayd al-Qasim ibn Salam. One of the scholars said, describe to me about Ubayd al-Qasim ibn Salam. What kind of a scholar was he? قال والله لا أجد له شبها إلا كجبل نفخ فيه روح. He said, I cannot find way to describe him except like a mountain, Allah put a soul on it. That's how great the scholar was. Therefore, the word Jabal means something great. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this is mountains of, don't you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gently drive the clouds, then join them together, piling them up into masses, from which you see raindrops come forth. And he sent down from the sky mountains of clouds, loaded with the hail, pouring into it on whoever he wills, and averting from whoever he wills. What is that? Hail, hail is different from snow. Barad, it means sometimes hails. And is hail sometimes is source of mercy, or sometimes a difficulty. You see many people changing the roof in their neighborhood. You know why? Yeah, insurance comes and says your roof been damaged by hails. Therefore, they changing your roof. Subhanallah, if the bird is different from thalj, Rasulullah mentioned the three types of water: بالماء والثلج والبرد. Liquid water, snow, and hail. Some people said that barad could be also means snow. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, either yusibihi man yasha, that means He bring the water to places for mercy, or could be for difficulties. That's why Rasulullah, what dua Rasulullah make when the rain comes? حوالينا ولا علينا. Oh Allah, make it in the places where they benefit from it. Make it for the soils, for the benefit. Don't bring it as a rain of destructions. Because the rain can create what? Can create flood. And it can create difficulties. The word asaba in Arabic is something that happened, it cannot be missed. You know, there's a hadith in Sahih Muslim. There's a man was walking, and he heard a voice in the cloud. Says to the cloud, Asqi arda fulan. Pour your water in the land of so and so. Mention a name of a person. فَتَتَبَّعَ السَّحَابَةِ. The person followed the cloud until it came in particular land, and it poured its water. Special delivery. Not Virginia water. Special delivery. Then he went and asked the man. He said, listen, I heard something very strange. This cloud came specifically for your land. What do you do with your land? He said, every time I have harvest, the crops, I divide it for three portions. One portion that I use back into the land, the money of it, and 1/3 for my family, and 1/3 I give in sadaqah. Allah, this 1/3, by the way, what is look like in Islam? In Islam, Sheikh Hamid, 1/3 look like what? Wasiyah. Thank you. 1/3 is the wasiyah. People give out of their wealth 1/3 for sabilillah. Allah put barakah in your life and our life. But this man doing this in his life, 1/3 was giving it away. That's what Rasulullah said, وَالثُّلُثُ ثُلُث كَثِيرٌ. Maximum is 1/3. But this man did the maximum. طيب. يكاد سنا برقه يذهب بالأبصار. What is البرق? Barq is what? Lightning. What is a sign of lightning? The lightning, if you can see it, it not hurt you. If you don't see it, a person, when it hit a person, it doesn't hit when you can see it. You know that. الصاعقة. Subhanallah. This lightning is a sign of the rain. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it in the Qur'an, describing the state of hypocrites. كلما مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا لو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Describing the state of a hypocrite, that they're not in the state of comfort. Now, يقلب الله الليل والنهار إن في ذلك لعبرة لأولي الأبصار. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one, He caused the day to happen and the night. When a Muslim experiences the night, beginning of the night, what that means? When the night comes, what is that for us? How do you know the night began? أيها الناس, with what? Maghrib for what? Salah. There's a prayer in the beginning of the night. And that prayer is, you have to pray it before the time expired. It's one of the prayers, the time of what? Is short. It's witnessing beginning. How do you witness the beginning of the day? Fajr prayer. Fajr prayer. You know that أقلم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا. You pray with the haraka, with the movement of the universe. You witness the universe by celebrating and praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The night and the day doesn't come for us just like any phenomena. It has something to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why when you pray Fajr, actually, your sun of your ruh rise before the sun of the universe. Ishraq al-ruh. And when you pray at night, you witness what? وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِبَاسًا. And what the dua you make in the morning? أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله. We have reached the morning and the dominion belongs to Allah. All praise due to Allah. Oh Allah, give us the best of this day and days to come. Protect us from harm in this day and days to come. When the sun sets, you say what? أمسينا وأمسى الملك لله. We have reached the night and the dominion belongs to Allah. And then you say, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best of the night and the nights to come. Therefore, one of the things happened to me. I was in Russia, visiting a conference there. And there's a city called St. Petersburg that at night they call white night. Have you heard white night? Actually, at 1 o'clock in the morning, you can read a book in the street. Huh? Yeah, white night. I experienced myself. Subhanallah, at night. You pray Isha, and 1 hour and a half or 2 hours, you pray Fajr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made some nights long, some day longs. The summer and the winter. يقلب الله الليل والنهار. Is in His hand. عبرة الأولي الأبصار. There's one more ayah. I don't know if I have time for that. No time? I think so. It's too long. I would like you to read this ayat at home. الله خلق كل دابة من ماء فمنهم من يمشي على بطنه ومنهم من يمشي على رجلين ومنهم من يمشي على أربع يخلق الله ما يشاء إن الله على كل شيء قدير. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk of the phenomena actually of the looking up, He bring you down. Amazing things in the Quran. So that always up and down, up and down. See up first and then look down. Up, look down. Why? Because by looking up, your horizon become big. You look to the universe. But you have to bring back the reality. Contemplating both. If you are looking down, there's ayat, there's signs to reflect. If you're looking up, there's a sign to reflect. If you are surrounded with the signs of Allah, muhab. And this is, by the way, if a person does this exercise and become seeing this world through the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the signs lead to one direction. What the sign pointing to? To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For a person, there's no way to kind of ghafla, be heedless, if you contemplating the ayat. And I really thank my brother, so Adam, and the brother who chose this ayat, because it is if we contemplate when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to contemplate, if we reflect when Allah asks us to reflect, we will not be heedless, because always become conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala present in our life. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت تولنا فيمن توليت اكفنا شر ما قضيت إنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما تفرقنا من بعد تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل فينا ولا منا ولا بيننا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم هذا إدبار ليلك وإقبال نهارك وأصوات دعاتك فاغفر لنا فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. Allah, this is the end of the night and beginnings of the day, and we're raising our hands in supplication Forgive our sin and accept us, Ya Rabbal Alameen. أصبحنا وأصبح الملك لله والحمد لله لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم نسألك خير هذا اليوم وخير ما فيه وخير ما بعده ونعوذ بك من شره وشر ما فيه وشر ما بعده. O Allah, that we have reached the morning and the dominion belongs to you. O Allah, all praise due to you. We ask you to give us the best of this day and days to come, and to protect us from any harm in this day and days to come. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا. نعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم انصر المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم كل الأرامل واليتامى والمساكين. اللهم إنك ترى مكانهم وتسمع دعاءهم ولا يخفى عليك حالهم. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم ارحم مواتنا وموات المسلمين. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وعافهم واعف عنهم وأكرم نزلهم وسع مدخلهم واغسل من خطاياهم بالماء والثلج والبرد. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك